Hey guys, LEGO Master 365 here, and we're back with a new Matt's Models. I didn't think I was gonna do a video on this one, but as I'm in between working on other projects and being inspired by Terry55 Stepney's lovely Skarloey models, I thought I'd show off my own model of number 1. This is how I built my Railway Series Skarloey. I've always found the Railway Series versions of the characters interesting. The Skarloey Railway is no exception to this. These little engines went through tons of change physically throughout their lives. Skarloey started out cabless, then gained it, wasted away in a shed, and gained a running board even later on. I've always liked the 40s 50s era, which I call his bomb era, and wanted to model it for a while. When I got inspiration for a Christmas story in that time period, I thought there was no better time to make a 50s Skarloey than now. I took my one and only working Skarloey model and got to work dismantling it. I took a Dremel to the running board and cut it down to size. Unfortunately, this section of the running board is structurally important, so I couldn't cut away as much as I'd wanted. Conveniently, the running board actually had a slightly visible bump to indicate where the running board was added on the real number 1.
See? You see? Well, you don't see it?
Thanks, Bachman. Using that as a guide made cutting a bit easier. I also couldn't remove the underside of the tank, as that acts as the bottom of the boiler and also hides the motor inside, so some black paint will have to do there. One of his sandboxes also had to be removed. This was filled in with modeling putty and sanded smooth. With those mods complete, it was time to paint. To prep the mod for painting, I had to strip the old factory applied paint off the die-cast boiler. This was done by soaking the boiler in isopropyl alcohol for about 5 days. This worked well, but I think a proper paint stripper would have been better. With the paint off, I was able to drill holes in the boiler and smoke box to add handrails. The smoke box had handrail stanchions, while the boiler just uses these bent wires. The stanchions are a bit oversized, but this model was only meant to be used as a filming prop, so I'm not too worried about being 100% accurate. With the body removed, I painted the chassis and wheels in matte black and weathered it with some matte brown to look old and worn. Now I could paint the body. My Skarloey was meant to match John's RWS for filming, but I didn't have any Tamiya TS8, because I gave all my TS8 cans to John for him to use. Anyway, I used a slightly darker red, that being Rust-Oleum's Sunrise Red, and honestly, I think it looks great. Once the paint was dry, I began adding the lining. Like my other models, I used Fox transfers for the lining. Only this time, I used 0.25mm dark blue lining. This gave a much thinner, more realistic appearance to the lining. I also at this time painted the smoke box, top of the running board, dummy hooks, and buffer heads black. I also painted the smoke box handrail silver and picked out his whistle, window spectacles, chimney band, and pipework in gold. To add some more life to the model, I added some fake lamp irons to the back of the cab and on top of the smoke box. The smoke box one actually broke off and I never bothered to replace it, so he lives without it. Honestly, it looks better that way. A long time ago when I was going to make a proper TV series Skarloey, I ordered some name and number plates from Narrow Planet, but they ended up being way too small. So I took the number plates and added them to the Railway Series model. They're still a bit small in my opinion, but it's much better than nothing. Also in preparation for this project, I ordered some Skarloey Railway crest and nameplate waterslide transfers from Railway Mania. These look absolutely fantastic, and they really lift the model to new standards. I also added these same transfers to John's RWS so the two models match. Since this was going to be an old, worn-down Skarloey, I needed to weather him. Using some of John's rust and dirt weathering powders, I dirtied my model up, quite heavily on the smoke box, as that's where locomotives tend to look the worst. I also added some Coldest powder along the top of the model to look like soot buildup. Just look at the little old engines together. Gosh, they look so good. Once I got him home, I added a matte black wash over the whole model. The matte wash over the gloss red really adds a layer of shiny grime detail. It really makes the engine look underused. I also accidentally washed off some of the weathering powders, so I had to add those back on. Whoops. At some point while I was at John's house, I used his paints to paint the inside of Skarloey's cab so it matched Renee's cab. I also took this Thailand backhead from Shapeways to use for Lady and put it in Skarloey for filming purposes, since Renee's is the 40s kit which has a fully detailed cab interior. With all those details added, Skarloey was complete and ready for filming. And as for how he looked? Well, I'll let you watch the Christmas video and decide for yourself. Thanks for watching. I know content has been weird these past 2 months, but I'm trying to work on some bigger videos at the moment. Life is crazy and gets in the way of making videos, but I do still want to make content for you guys. It's been hard finding a good work-life balance, but it's getting better day by day. There's more content on the way, so stay tuned. Bye!
You were right, sir. Old engines can't pull trains like young ones.
They can if they're mended, old faithful. And that's what will happen to you. You deserve it.
Do I? Do I, sir? Oh, thank you, sir. Thank you.